Hello students. So today in this video we are going to study about the dinoflagellates. Dinoflagellates are photosynthetic protista. They come under division Pyrophyta. Example is you have to remember here, then you remember Noctiluca, which is actually known as fire algae. Why? Because it is showing bioluminescence. And pyro word means related to the fire. They are belonging to the class Dinophyceae. So this is the one you have to learn division and the class. Now see their habitat. When I'm saying they are photosynthetic protista, obviously they are in the marine habitat, as it means aquatic habitat. So mainly they are in the marine, though few can be seen in the freshwater also. They'll be showing different colors like red color, yellow color, and green color, brown, blue. All this is because of the pigments which are present in the cell wall. Now see the cell wall of dinoflagellates. See here. If you see the cell wall is having cellulose plus pectin. And this is present in the form of a plates. So you are finding the grooves are present in the cell wall. And this is the plates are present. So it gives an appearance as if it's an armor. That is why they are also known as armor dinoflagellate. And the two grooves which they have created, this is your transverse groove. And this is the longitudinal groove. So in these two grooves, flagellas are present. This is the flagella present in the transverse groove and flagella is present in the longitudinal grooves. The two flagellas are present in the grooves which are made in the cell wall at the time when they are laying down the cell wall. So we are seeing here, see once again, the cell wall is known as theca or lorica, which is made up of sculptural plates of cellulose and pectin, and because of this they are also known as armored dinoflagellate. In the previous I have shown you they are having the two grooves. Longitudinal groove is known as sulcus. See here, this is a longitudinal groove which is known as sulcus, which is bearing the longitudinal flagella. And transverse groove is known as cingulum or annulus or girdle. So these are the different names of the transverse. So this is here. Learning, you can do one thing, you can remember longitudinal section, LS. The longitudinal is known as sulcus. Now each of the group will have flagella and the two flagellas are heterocont because one is present in the transverse groove that is known as transverse flagella, another is present in the longitudinal groove, longitudinal flagella. So we say the flagellas are heterocont. Because the two flagellas are beating independent of each other, they are also known as whirling whips. So I hope up till here concept is clear to you. Okay, the cell wall is known as theca or lorica, which is made up of cellulose and pectin in the form of plates. We call them as armored dinoflagellates. And in the cell wall, the grooves are created, longitudinal and transverse, which bears flagella. Heterocont flagella, both are beating independent of each other. That is why they are known as whirling whips. Now see, when we are saying that they are photosynthetic protista, obviously they will have the pigment also. So chlorophyll A and C is present. Please remember chlorophyll A and carotenoids. These are the two pigments which are universally present in all the photosynthetic organisms. Starting from Monera till the higher, chlorophyll A and carotenoid is universally present. Changes can happen ki some might be having chlorophyll B also, some might be having chlorophyll C also, some might be having chlorophyll D also. For example, here if you see in the dinoflagellate, we are saying they are having chlorophyll C also, apart from chlorophyll A. They are having then carotenoids. Which carotenoid? They are having D-carotenes, they are having xanthophyll also. So these are the things, these are the pigments which are present in them. They are having the photosynthetic lamella also. Reserve food. They are doing photosynthesis. Obviously, they will be storing the food. The food is carbohydrate and oil. This is the reserve food which is present in the dinoflagellates. Now, one thing you have to remember here, important thing, they are having non-contractile vacuole that is known as pustule. Please learn it. This is a non-contractile vacuole which is present in dinoflagellates. Now, important concept, they are mesokaryon. You know very well, according to the nucleus, presence or absence of nucleus, we have classified the organism as prokaryotic organism and eukaryotic organism. Prokaryotic organisms are those in which nuclear membrane is absent. Eukaryote means nuclear membrane is present. Eukaryotes are the one in which at the time of cell division, means during prophase, nuclear membrane will disappear. So during prophase, nuclear membrane disappear, which reappear in telophase. So one thing you have to remember here. Then second thing, if you know they condense, they are having chromatin during nucleus, which condense to form chromosome at the time of cell division. So chromosome formation is done in them at the time of cell division. But in between another is there, that is mesokaryon. The dinoflagellates are mesokaryon. So what the dinoflagellates are having uniqueness? See, they develop the nuclear membrane. But they are maintaining the nuclear membrane at the time of cell division also. To maintain nuclear membrane at the time of cell division. Eukaryotes were doing the disappearance of nuclear membrane in the prophase and reappearance of nuclear membrane during telophase. Mesokaryon will not do. They will maintain their nuclear membrane at the time of cell division also. Second thing is this, if you know in the eukaryotes, we have studied, chromatin will be present in the nucleus, but at the time of cell division, it will condense to form chromosomes. So here we are finding that they are having condensed chromosome even in interphase stage. They are having condensed chromosome even in interphase. So because they are having the nuclear membrane, we can't say that they are prokaryote, but they are still maintaining the nuclear membrane at the time of cell division, and they are not going for decondensation for chromatin, so they are not true eukaryote also. So we will say they are middle, they are mesokaryon. See the theory, nucleus is big in size with condensed chromosome, even in interphase, which lack histone, they will not use histone proteins. Nuclear envelope will be present even at all the stages of cell division. Please, this is very important. Understand once again, I'll just revise it with you. See what I'm trying to explain you. In case of prokaryote, first of all, you know nuclear membrane is not present. That now dinoflagellate are having nuclear membrane, but they are not disappearing it at the time of prophase, they are maintaining it. Though in case of eukaryote, nuclear membrane disappear and reappear in the telophase. Then second is, in case of eukaryotes, chromatin is present in interphase and chromosome is present during M phase. But in case of mesokaryon, dinoflagellates, they are having the condensed chromosome even in interphase also. And third difference, they are not using histone proteins. I hope up till here concept is clear to you. So reproduction is by asexual. You know very well that they'll be showing the reproduction by simple cell division, that is known as binary fission. If suppose they have to do sexual reproduction, then it will be isogamous and anisogamous will be there. And they are showing zygotic meiosis. Now, if you see life cycle of the dinoflagellate, when it is showing zygotic meiosis, it means their zygote is going for meiosis. It means they don't want diploid structure in their life. They are only making the diploid structure in their life, that is only zygote. It means they are showing haplontic life cycle. The only member which is showing diplontic life cycle is Noctulica, because Noctulica is the one which is showing gametic meiosis, and the organism which shows gametic meiosis means they are showing diplontic life cycle. See here, I'll try to explain you. Three types of meiosis are there. One is your zygotic meiosis. Zygotic meiosis means zygote is going for meiosis. Zygote undergoes meiosis. Another is your gametic meiosis. So in gametic meiosis, gametes are made by meiosis. And if suppose we are saying that gametes are made by meiosis, then obviously the main body is 2n. Another is your sporic meiosis. Sporic meiosis means spores are made by meiosis. In case of the lower plants like algae will show zygotic meiosis. It means they are preferring to live as a haploid. So they are showing haplontic life cycle. So haplontic life cycle, the organism which lives haplontic life cycle, they will show zygotic meiosis. Now gametic meiosis is shown by animals. So their main body is diploid. So they show diplontic life cycle. And sporic meiosis is shown by the higher plants. Now see, few marine dinoflagellates, they are having bioluminescence, which we already started the topic. I started the topic by saying in the division Pyrophyta, Noctulica is responsible for bioluminescence. And this light which they emit, it is actually known as cold light. Why? Because it is free from far red radiations and they glow the sea in the night. Some dinoflagellate like Gonalex, it is releasing a toxin, and this toxin is known as sexy toxin. And you know very well, according to the food chain concept, you know that phytoplanktons will be consumed by zooplanktons, which will be eaten by small fishes, and finally, the small fishes will be consumed by large fishes. So this toxin enters the food chain, affects all level of the marine shellfishes, and it causes paralytic shell poisoning. So it can be fatal also. This toxin can be fatal. Now, starting we have seen that they are having different types of pigments in their cell wall. So one dinoflagellate is responsible for red tide, that is known as Gonalex. So Gonalex is the one which is responsible for red tide. It is causing the red tide of the sea. Now see here difference between the red tide and red sea. Red tide is because of the dinoflagellate, and red sea is because of blue-green algae. Please remember this. This is actually very important according to the competitive point. The student get confused here. So example of blue-green algae, I'm just once again revising it. It is Trichodesmium erythraeum. An example of dinoflagellate, right now only we have seen it is Gonalex. I hope this explanation will help you to revise the dinoflagellate. Thanks for watching class. Thanks.
If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel.